Firstly, Bae wasn't Queen Bae just yet. She wasn't even Bae yet, really. At the time, she was Beyoncé, the lead from Destiny's Child, who had just gone solo and had appeared in The Pink Panther and Austin Powers in Goldmember, neither of which were dramatic benchmarks by any stretch of the imagination. This was way before she broke me with Lemonade. She's evolved and been through some shit, so imagine her performance now. So no, I wasn't scared to share the screen with the pre-queen. And although Eddie is a living legend, the last thing that stuck in my mind about him was the transsexual hooker he got pulled over with. It was prominent in my mind because it happened very near my studio apartment, and all I could think was, this is where Eddie hangs out? I don't hang out around here. And hey, if that's your jam, then that's your jam. Whatever. But there have to be better pickup locales. After that, Eddie was pretty low-key. Killing it in the voiceover field as Donkey in Shrek, but again, he wasn't doing drama. Jamie Foxx, however, had a huge hit in Collateral with Tom Cruise, and then knocked us all out with his Oscar-winning role in Ray. So yeah, that may have given me pause, but you know what? That's what the hell I was here for. I came to LA to do my best among the best. So no, I wasn't intimidated per se. I'd been a legit working actor for almost 10 years, starting at the bottom and working my way up. I got my start in entertainment doing stand-up at a sorority charity event when I was a junior at Duke University. I had absolutely no idea what I was doing. I just got up there and winged it, regurgitating funny stories my younger brother had told me about him and his friends. My set killed, and my inner attention whore wasn't mad at that crowd approval. For the next 4 years, I worked as a contract chemist during the day, I'll tell you about that later, and at night did open mics at Good Nights Comedy Club in Raleigh, North Carolina. I had one goal in mind. I wanted my own sitcom, The Retta Show. In 1997, I packed my leased car and moved to LA. Okay, on top of not being allowed to take the car out of the state per my lease agreement, I didn't have a job for some time in LA and couldn't afford to pay the bill, so it was promptly repossessed. Anyway, I moved to LA armed with a stack of unfortunate headshots and a book titled Your Film Acting Career. I auditioned for anything I could and fine-tuned my stand-up. Your girl hustled, and that shit paid off. I won Comedy Central's stand-up competition in 1999, which later came to be known as the Laugh Riot competition, and was awarded a brand new Mercury Cougar, a year's supply of Taco Bell. It was basically 365 coupons for a free meal at the Bell. And a bitch was broke, so I used every last one of them. My go-to meal was 3 tacos with lettuce, extra cheese, and sour cream, and a shitload of mild hot sauce and a raspberry iced tea. That was me. A spot on Comedy Central's Premium Blend, and, most importantly, it led to a spot on the New Faces Showcase at the 2000 Montreal Just for Laughs Festival. Now, the New Faces Showcase was a huge deal because all the television development execs in Hollywood go to see the talent. For a relative Hollywood newbie, these credits, along with a co-star appearance on Moesha, appearances in 2 films, and an HBO pilot, weren't shabby. Moesha is one of 3 all-black projects I've ever booked in my career, to this day. And I think that partially fed into my fear about the Dreamgirls audition. This was an iconic piece of black theater. I call it black theater because even though it wasn't written by black authors, it was mostly an African-American cast depicting R&B acts of the 1960s and 70s. And as my manager kept pointing out, it was going to be big. At the time, I felt like I didn't really fit into the black comedy scene. I told myself I wasn't urban enough in my act. I just wasn't covering the same subject matter that I saw other black comics doing. I didn't write about growing up in the projects, smoking weed, or my epic sexcapades. Not that I had any. That wasn't my shit, and as a result, I feared the black audience for a long time. I remember doing a set at the Fat Tuesday show at the Improv, and I was scared to death because I didn't know...